Sit. Good girl. This is our HR manager, Luna. If you guys send us an email, this is who reads it. I don't know what happens to the emails after that. Austin! What up, Internet? My name is Drew. I'm the proprietor of a digital marketing agency called DS Media. Our whole thing is we promote good people doing good things. On this side of the Internet, we're trying to share some stuff that hopefully will help you guys grow your businesses, help you get your ideas out there, whatever it happens to be that you're working on. For this vlog today, I decided I'd take you guys along on some of the projects that we were working on this past weekend. There's not going to be one specific one. We're just going to be checking out some of the stuff that we worked on. The digital marketing space, by virtue of being focused on, the Internet, has some boring weeks sometimes. Sometimes we are stuck in the office for days on end. We don't really go anywhere or do anything outside of stare at screens. And sometimes our weeks are so chaotic that we kind of lose track of just how many projects we worked on, which are the fun ones. This past weekend was somewhere in between. Friday, we worked on a podcast that I actually co-host. I thought it would be kind of cool to show you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes and just how easy it is nowadays to actually set one of these up yourself. I can't give you the expertise, but I can give you the general equipment guidelines that'll get you pretty close to on your way. The audio part is pretty straightforward. The video stuff is where it kind of gets a little bit complex, right? A lot of moving parts sometimes. But let's start there and check out some of the behind the scenes. And what I want you guys to note is the difference between how it looks on a camera that's just running and really just trying to capture whatever's in the moment and something prepared. Because the difference I think you'll find is pretty striking.
But literally saying, I think one year I sang ABCs and another year I sang Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and I just suffered through it. And so did the people. They just suffered through it, and I felt really bad for them.
Still cleaning it up and getting it ready, obviously, while it's just me in here. But let me run you through it. So we've got, you can see all the lights set up around here. What we did is we took this corner of the office. We added the three sofas right here, so we can all sit in a nice little U, and it's easy to frame up. The backdrop, the back wall right over here. This office used to be like 2 shades of blue, and it was not pretty. I think if you actually watch like the first episode of the podcast, you can kind of see it a bit. But we repainted the accent wall over here, this brick wall, black. That's helpful as a backdrop, right? Set these 2 couches up, mounted 2 microphones there. We've got a third microphone that mounts right where I'm standing right here. And quite literally all we do is we run these cameras right over here. We set them up, we frame them so that we look okay. We hit all the lights here, and then everything just gets run to these mixers right here. Specific to audio only, all you need is this mixer right here, which is, I think, $500-600, and a couple of good microphones, right? So 2 of those right over there, if it's you and a guest. I think those specific ones are like $400 or $500 a piece. But you could definitely get the lower tier ones, which I think are $300. Would still give you professional quality. $300 for the mics. I think it's another $100 for the stands. You're at $800 right there, plus $600 for the mixer, $1,400, plus probably about $100 for cables. $1,500, and you've got a professional-ish sounding podcast setup. That is as simple as it gets. I'm not kidding. Like it's that easy for stuff like that. Don't mess with video if you want to keep it simple. The video is where it starts getting complex. Does this count as an office tour? I hope not. Anyway, we're gonna crank out some work while we wait for Joe to get in. Joe gets in at 8, so I've got another about 2.5 hours till she gets here. 9 o'clock, we go grab the rest of the stuff that we need for this. 10 o'clock, we're gonna set up and do a quick, dry run to make sure that everything's all good. And then Chris and Artur get here at 11. So at 11, we'll be rocking and rolling. What are you referring to right now?
I'm just talking about the quality of the conversation.
The quality of the conversation is fine. We just haven't talked about anything associated with business. We're an hour into this and nobody knows what Chris does. They have no idea what he did or what he does.
No.
If we're going to make a show called we should probably bring up the entrepreneurial aspects of the conversation we're having. The conversation other than that was fine, though. What do you think?
Sitting in a cloud of smoke right now.
Sweet. Fog machine.
It's just
You need to bring up business.
Thank you.
I didn't disagree. I literally just said
Have you ever watched The Fairly Odd Parents? The Fairly Odd Parents? Have you ever watched The Fairly Odd Parents?
What
the fuck, Chris?
From our generation.
Yes. Okay, so do you know Mr. Crocker? Chris, do you know The Fairly Odd Parents? Very good parents! God. Right, yeah, thanks a lot. You fucked this up now. He's been vaping in here the whole time, so now I look like I'm sitting with a fog machine.
Whiskey there, it felt smooth and it felt very nice. And if I were to be doing, I don't know, Jimmy Dean or whatever that cheap one is.
Jimmy Dean's a sausage guy.
Okay,
Jim
what
Beam.
is
breakfast
Jim
sandwich?
Beam?
That sounds like a
Holy
social media
shit.
challenge. Like you must finish a bottle of Jim Beam at Jimmy John's while eating Jim Dean sausages or whatever.
The Triple Jimmy Challenge.
The Jimmy Challenge. So you know what real old school chivalry was? You put him in a horse-drawn carriage.
My
Just
point
because I
be-
don't have a man doesn't mean chivalry is not non-existent.
That's fair.
You don't know my opinion.
We do know your opinion.
We literally
Like
just
chivalry?
agreed on
We
it.
know your opinion on everything.
We literally just agreed on it.
Now, I do have to note that the show in its current format, you may not actually see it branded and shared as such. We're currently in the process of going through a little bit of a rebrand due to the fact that today we received a cease and desist from a company that shall remain unnamed, but currently has a 10-figure budget to fight us. Not how I saw my day going, but hey, whatever. It's business. And to be quite frank, the show itself is more of a practice run for us before we start offering video podcasts to our clientele. We currently operate in the mobile audio space, no problem, because it's easy to pack up, easy to set up, etc., etc. The video portion, we haven't been able to offer in an effective manner, basically. Now we can. And we've been experimenting with that on our show, which I guess now doesn't have a name. So we'll just call it The Show until we figure that out. Fast forward in the recap, we're going to end up on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. You're going to join along on a shoot for a shoe company that we work with. Sanita Clogs, we've been working with them for a little over a year now. We've basically taken over the majority of their digital marketing and branding. And to be quite frank, it's some of the most fun that I have on shoots. They are very open-minded to what we present them. Their creative director is great about giving us direction as far as what we should be putting together for them. And then from there, they kind of hand us the reins and let us do our thing, which is great. I think I mentioned this in the previous video, but generally speaking, the clientele that we have that does not micromanage usually gets the best results. I wonder why that is. So let's check out Saturday morning and see what goes on behind the scenes while creating lifestyle content for a shoe brand. I'm gonna keep my voice down because I'm actually not sure how far back this travels. But what we're doing today is we're working on another shoot for our clog friend Sanita. And while I'm waiting for the crew to get here, the team we're working with today, thought I'd show you guys. Is it backwards? I thought I turned off the selfie mirror on this. Hang on. Thought I'd show you guys real quick. One of the I think one of the important things to do when it comes to work, every opportunity you have to express some gratitude for the people that facilitate you being able to do the thing you do is very important. So anytime we use a space like this, which is just some Airbnb we found that kind of match the Sanita vibe, you know, we make sure we put something down that says we're grateful for the opportunity to use the space. We're waiting on Joe and 2 models, and we're going to be shooting some shoes today. See how it goes.
My model, my dirty tennis shoes.
What's up, bud? You want to be in a shoe shoot?
I know, I know. I'm overthinking.
Can I have you move that rug right there? Thank you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had no idea who he was, and I was having a conversation with him while I was trying to film one.
Oh my god.
And then he walked off, and a group of people came up to me, and they were like, "So what's he like?" I'm like, "Who?" Nikolai, can you do a couple facing me?
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So in, so out, out, turn, and then put it okay. Perfect.
Should I do? Put more of them up?
Very nice. Can you do it a little bit faster?
Mm-hmm.
Put your arm out. Like with the
rest of Saturday and most of Sunday was spent in front of the computer. So obviously I'm not going to show you guys that stuff. That's boring as hell. Fast forward to today, this morning, and actually where I'm sitting right now. We worked with our buddy Artur, who I mentioned previously, who's actually a client of ours. Artur is an entrepreneur and he's a consultant in the tech space, specializing in software development, and we're helping him grow his personal brand. One of the things that he wants to add into his repertoire is more speaking engagements. It's one of the things he finds most enjoyable, and we're trying to find a way to leverage his social media in order to find him more speaking engagements. Now, the content that we're checking out right here is a great example of how your goal should influence the style of your content. What I mean by that is you should be thinking about how you present your content in the same way you think about getting dressed. If you're going out with some buddies to play mini golf in the middle of July, let's say, board shorts, flip-flops, and a tank top are okay, right? But you sure as hell wouldn't show up to a job interview or a wedding like that. Same thing goes for your content. If you're trying to get the everyday layman into your product or service, well then, stuff that looks like it's shot on an iPhone that's a little more relatable, that's a good idea. Most people that are booking speaking engagements or larger organizations, they have some degree of professionalism to them. They want something that's more polished, put together, and something that they know has some kind of significant value. Conveying that through content is quite simple. If you look at the content that we put together, it's much, much more polished. Is it perfect? No, because you still want him to come across as relatable, and you still want it to appear as though it belongs on social media, the content itself, I mean. But it's significantly more polished and put together than the average piece of content you might find on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you happen to be.
I hate how well behaved your dog is. My dogs will be all over the place, eating everything. You come off as very intelligent, Joe.
Oh, thank you. It's really nice of you.
An asshole, but very intelligent one.
The cadence of your speech is great, but you're trailing off just a little bit at the end. You're coming off soft, and I'm worried that like the audio, I'm gonna lose you on that a little bit. So just think about ending your sentences like as the same way you start them. You know what I mean? Like don't let
Wise, or
yeah. Yep.
the amount of businesses I did that didn't necessarily go anywhere, but it was just me trying to figure shit out. It's pretty cool. I have this laptop that is a very old laptop that I laser engraved all the logos of everything I did, and it's really cool piece of memoir, I guess. But the variety of the things was always exploring how can I do things better.
On that note, we're going to wrap up this little behind the scenes. I hope you guys took something away that'll help you in your business or your endeavor, whatever you happen to be trying to grow and build right now. If you did get something of value out of this, please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe, because I do plan on making more of these videos if it is of value to others. I'll see you in the next one.
We were required to go to like warm-ups, but I wasn't actually singing, and I didn't want to mess people up around me, so I would just like lip sync at warm-ups. It was really embarrassing. And then I would like lip sync for the what is it called? The actual show too, and rehearsals and stuff. I got really good at lip syncing, and yeah, one time I was a statue.